Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the EdTech Pulse. My name's Devin Austin, one of your emerging technology consultants, here with some amazing updates and tools to share with you this week. So let's dive right in. So this week we are going to focus on celebrating students who have dyslexia, as October is Dyslexia Awareness Month. So I have a bunch of different tools and things that I'd like to share with you. Again, just like any accessibility tool, remember accessibility is for all. So we can use all of the tools that I am going to show you today with any of your students. So if you'd like to learn a little more about dyslexia, in this way there is this Made by Dyslexia site that you can check out to learn about it, have some resources and all those wonderful things. As well, the second link is the Empower Dyslexic Thinking in Schools course by Microsoft that you can go through by yourself to learn a little bit more about dyslexia in children and how to create an inclusive classroom environment where dyslexic students are able to thrive. So if those interest you, the links to those are in the sway this week. All right. So first thing that we are going to look at today is text decoding options with Immersive Reader. Now we have looked at Immersive Reader before, but I just want to point out a few little things again with you today. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to a simple web page. Now you'll notice there's lots of text, there's lots going on. Students might find this difficult or overwhelming. So what you're simply going to do is you're going to highlight a portion of the text, and if you're using a mouse, you're going to simply right click on the mouse. If not, if it's a Chromebook, make a little snake bite and tap on your trackpad, and when you do that, what it's going to do is it's going to bring up this little screen. You're going to go down here to help me read this, and what it's going to do is it's going to launch it in Immersive Reader right in the web for you. So what you'll notice is you have a simple play button here that's just going to let them hear the text, but there is some options here. We can go to our voice settings. We can decide on things like voice speed. Do we need to slow it down like the turtle, or do we need to speed it up a little bit for students? So we can decide by doing these voice setting options. Also, we can change text preferences with our students. So things like size to make it easier to read. We can increase or decrease spacing. Notice how when I toggle that on, it's just a little more computer friendly. As well, did you know that Comic Sans is a font that students who are dyslexic can easily read? So I'm going to turn that on today, and it's going to be a lot easier for students who have dyslexia to use this. Again, I can have themes, which just changes my background color here. As well, I'm going to go to grammar options. I can break it down to things like syllables just by clicking them on nouns, and notice how all of that is consistently changing on my screen, and students can use this to help them discern between different parts of the speech or syllables in words. As well, I have line focus, which is a great one. By simply clicking here, what it's going to do is while I hit the play button, it's going to highlight whatever I select here by doing line focus. If I need for students to easily follow along. Picture dictionary. So simply by going to any word here and clicking on it, it gives me the option to see a picture of it, but also to listen to the word. So maybe I'm not sure what that particular thing is, and that's what's going to help me to know just by using a simple image. I can also go and I can translate a document to any language that's available in Translate. I need to toggle on document, and notice right away what's going to happen is I'm going to have my original, I'm going to have my translated copy. I can switch back and forth between them. So using Immersive Reader on the web is a really great tool to get students involved in those text decoding abilities. So you'll notice too, we do have in the sway this week this little Immersive Reader guide that breaks down each of them as well. You can use Immersive Reader in multiple places within the Microsoft suite. All right, next is my multisensory reading practice with Reading Coach. So we looked at this in another week's EdTech Pulse on what Reading Coach was, but I did want to point out a couple things to you again. Again, the power of Reading Coach, it's built in with Immersive Reader as well. It's going to give students the ability to have that independent practice, and it's going to give students real-time coaching where they can actually practice words they're struggling with, things that they are struggling with, and you as the teacher get that timely feedback as well in order to see how they're doing. So definitely check out the whole idea of Immersive Coach or Immersive Reader and Reading Coach together. Again, things like Flip and Minecraft, they're already in there, so they're built in, and it makes it really easy for students to get feedback and use these different types of tools. All right, next, one of my favorite ones here is Math Assistant in OneNote. Did you know that you could do math in OneNote? But also there is the ability to do this on the web with you. So we're going to look at today a couple different features of Math Assistant and this math solver and how we can leverage it with our students and get them doing some digital inking and digital math. So I'm going to open up OneNote here, and you'll notice I just have a OneNote page, so it's really, really easy. I'm going to go here to draw, and I can actually ink with touch screen, so I can use my finger, or I can use my mouse to do some digital math. So what I need to do here is I need to go here to draw with mouse or touch. I can select my pen, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly, and I'm using a mouse, I'm going to write out a math equation. So I'm just going to write this guy out here. Okay? And again, just like any tool, may need some refining afterwards just to get you to have it proper, and that's okay. So once I have my equation there, I'm going to go back to my arrow, and what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to select the equation I just did. I'm going to highlight it by right-clicking and dragging. And over here you'll notice there's math. So my equation is here. If it's correct, I don't have to do anything. But if I need to fix something, then I just go fix. And then if I hit ink to math, it's going to turn it into my little feature here. And then again, I can resize it. But the best thing is I can go, and what I can do is I can select an action. So I could solve for X. It's going to give me the answer. Maybe there's more than one answer. But also, the cool thing about this is it gives students the ability to show steps. So it gives me a breakdown of how to solve this particular equation, and it gives me multiple ways that I could solve this equation. I also have this little Immersive Reader button in here, so it gives me all of those Immersive Reader tools as well, which is really, really cool. So I have a quick ability here to do that. But also I can go back up here, solve for X. I can graph this, insert it on my page so I have a visual, and I can make it bigger, smaller, so I see how this equation is on a graphing plane, which is really, really cool. So I also have things like a ruler tool that I can use, a digital ruler. I can ink to shapes, I can have shapes. So I can use this in multiple ways. I don't just have to have equations in order to do this, which is really awesome. So again, check out all of these different ones because they're really, really cool. One thing else I want to highlight is practicing similar equations. So if I actually go here to the web, and I'm just going to type that exact same equation into my math solver web app here. And again, I have my different types of calculators. So just by playing around, and I hit solve, look at all the cool things that it's going to start populating. It's going to start populating my answers. It's going to break it down again. I'm going to be able to view solution steps for each of the different types, and it shows me step by step. So maybe I'm struggling with that equation. It's going to show me again on that graph. But the other cool thing is I can do a quiz, so I can practice similar questions. It also gives me videos, related concepts, all of these awesome things that you can do in Math Assistant and Math Solver. So definitely check that out. It's a really cool tool. All right, and lastly, grammar skills using Microsoft Editor. So Microsoft Editor is basically suggestion-based editing skills that students can use in order to improve their grammar. So I just have a random document here open, and what I'm going to do is, once I'm in my Home tab, right in the little ribbon is Editor. I'm going to click it. And you'll notice it gives me an editor score right away. So how well have I constructed my document? I can go here and choose the type of writing, formal, professional, casual, depending on the tone and how I want it to look. It'll give me spelling and grammar suggestions. Is there anything around clarity, inclusiveness, etc. that I need to look at? But if I simply click on spelling, it's going to take me there right away. It's going to give me some options where I can click and make those edits. Again, it's really quick and easy. I can look at things like grammar, maybe I forgot some periods or whatever type of punctuation. It's going to allow me to do that easily, and it's going to tell me, hey, I've used Editor. Now my document is ready, it's complete, which is really awesome. So that's a quick little thing to get students to use with that. All right, so that was just a quick little tour of all the tools. So thank you for watching. Please reach out to your emerging technology team should you have any additional questions on any of these tools. Bye for now.